Here's how to get good girls telling you their dirtiest secrets in 5 minutes flat. In this video, I'm gonna flip everything you thought you knew about women upside down. Because the truth is, even the most innocent, church on Sunday good girl type can be spilling her dirtiest secrets, her wildest fantasies, and her favorite sexual positions in just a couple of minutes. And this isn't flirting. This isn't small talk. This is what I call the Sexual Truth Serum, a method so powerful it rips that good girl mask right off her face. It unlocks her hidden side and it makes her confess things she would never even tell her boyfriend or her girlfriends or anyone else. Now, if you're new here, I'm Jesse and I've been coaching men's dating for over 20 years now. And my mission, getting you older guys that beautiful younger girlfriend you actually want. And by the end of this video, you're gonna know how to flip casual conversations into raw X-rated confessions. Make women want to reveal their secret fantasies to you and get her so comfortable, so turned on, so obsessed with you that she is the one chasing after you. And gentlemen, once you know this, you're never gonna hear the words, "I'm not that type of girl," ever again. Now, if you're still clinging to the idea that women are these sweet, innocent angels who just want honesty from a guy, this video is going to piss you off. Because here's the truth of it. There are only two types of men. The ones women confess their deepest, darkest secrets to, and the ones they ghost without a second thought. Now, one of the guys in my community, he messaged me the other day. He said, "Bro, I'm only 20% in, and I already pulled 2 numbers yesterday. I've even got another girl waiting to hang out with me tonight." And then he said, "Before this, I'd just freeze up, I'd overthink, I'd blow it. Now it feels like I've leveled up overnight." You see, what I've created here is a step-by-step system, plug and play, that you can literally copy and paste straight into your dating life. You can use my 4 S's of obsession in my obsession operating system to get a girlfriend way quicker, to get the woman that you want and keep her forever. And that's why I created this community. That's why I built it, and I know you are going to love it. And you can go right here to attractionzilla.com to check it out. I'll put a link in the description below as well. Now, you've met that sweet, quiet girl before, right? The one you assumed was pure innocence. But deep down, you knew she had another side to her. You just never got to see it. Well, one of my clients swore he was talking to this church-going, shy, blushes at a dirty joke type. But 20 minutes into building sexual comfort with her, she was telling him about her fantasy of being tied up and spanked. And that's when it hit him, that her innocence that he perceived was just a mask that can be taken off. So what really separates the guy who only ever sees the good girl act from the guy who unlocks her wild side? Well, it comes down to sexual comfort. And sexual comfort is how safe she feels talking about sexual topics with you. And when you build sexual comfort, she's going to open up to you. Not just about the harmless stuff like hidden tattoos or whether she sleeps naked or not, but about her rawest desires, her favorite sexual positions, her wildest fantasies. And here's the key, gentlemen. She'll only open up if she feels zero judgment from you. She has to know that you are 100% supportive of all of her sexuality, that there's no downside talking to you, no pressure, no shame involved. And when she feels that openness, she'll give you answers that most guys will never hear. Now, most guys miss this. They think that women shut them down because of looks or money, but that's wrong. The real reason is because the guy never builds sexual comfort with her. And here's another myth. Only women who dress provocatively have these kinky fantasies. But the reality is, it's the exact opposite of that. Studies show that the quiet girls, the quiet ones, the churchgoers, the honor students, the office types report having just as many taboo fantasies as typical women, sometimes even more. Why? Because women's sexual thoughts are like this constant background noise, always running. But social conditioning forces these girls to hide it. The reality is, the average woman is thinking about sex multiple times an hour. She just won't show it unless she feels safe around you. And here's the secret. The kinkiest women in the room often look like the most innocent ones. And you want to learn how to unlock that in your conversations with them. So think of sexual comfort like a volume knob, not like a light switch. You don't flip it from 0 to max in one single click. No, you turn it up gradually, notch by notch until the room is filled with sound. So at level 1, she might tell you about a hidden tattoo she has. At level 3, 4, or 5, she's talking about how she sleeps naked in the bed. And at level 10, she's confessing her favorite sexual position, her wildest fantasies, her naughtiest kinks. And that's when she throws away the good girl mask and lets her real side out. But here's the catch. And most guys just screw this up without even realizing it. There's one big mistake that kills all the sexual comfort instantly. And I'm going to reveal that before the end of the video. Because here's the truth, gentlemen. A lot of those sweet, innocent looking girls, they are hiding freaky, wild fantasies underneath the surface. But if you don't build sexual comfort with her, you're never gonna see that side of her, and she's gonna keep it locked away from you forever. So how do you actually build sexual comfort with a young, beautiful woman without blowing it? Well, again, you wanna think of it as like a dial knob. You don't go from 0 to 100 in a single moment. No, you turn up the heat gradually until she's giving you deeper, more personal answers with ease. And if you do this right, you can flip everything from small talk to dirty talk in one single conversation. The trick is you can't be skipping levels. It's kind of like a video game. You have to clear out level 1 before you can fight the main boss. And that's why in the beginning, you want to start out with low compliance questions, something safe. Something that's easy for her to answer, but with a subtle sexual edge to it. For example, you might lean into the girl and say to her, "So I'm curious, Jessica, what's your guilty pleasure?" What's your guilty pleasure, Jessica? Now, here's exactly what's going to happen. She might tell you eating chocolate is her guilty pleasure, or reading these naughty romance novels is her guilty pleasure. Or she might tell you, I like to take these long, hot showers. And sometimes the girl is really going to surprise you. She'll go straight into admitting that she watches X-rated videos. Other women, they're just going to play it safer. Maybe she'll tell you something shy, like how she likes to watch these cheesy soap operas. Why? Because she does not want you to judge her. She's not ready to open up to you yet. But don't worry, this is just the start. Once you stack the next questions, things will begin to escalate fast. And by the way, if you'd like me to give you my 10 best go-to lines to build sexual comfort with a girl and get her to open up to you like a flower blossoming, drop the word pleasure in the comments below and I'll share those in another video. Now, a lot of guys are going to think, well, talking about sex directly with the girl is what makes her comfortable. Wrong. That's not right, guys. It's not the content. It's not what you talk about. It's your reaction that counts, right? A woman can confess something pretty extreme, like how she gives hand jobs to guys in the men's bathroom. But if your face shows zero reaction, zero shock, zero embarrassment, zero shame, that's when her sexual comfort with you skyrockets. It's the way you receive her answer that's way more important than what you talk about or the question itself. So here's the rule you want to follow. Whatever she tells you, whether it's big or small, reward her for opening up to you as long as you're making some progress. You know, even if it's just a little bit, where you show no judgment, no shame, no embarrassment, absolutely none. Say, for example, that her guilty pleasure is eating dark chocolate. You might tell her with a smile, "You know, Sarah, I like that. You win a point." Now, even though that's a small thing, it's not a wild guilty pleasure, you still have to reward her for opening up to you. "Sarah, I like that. You win a point." You could even playfully sexualize it. "You know what I really love, Sarah? That moment when that dark chocolate first touches your tongue and you get that burst of flavor hitting you all at once." Right? You just throw in a little sexual innuendo to extend the sexuality. Or you could extend the sexuality by talking about your guilty pleasure now. "You know, Sarah, dark chocolate's awesome, but for me, it's all about a hot, steaming shower. And then curling up with a good book and some ice cream. That's my guilty pleasure." And that small little exchange between you and her now turns the dial, maybe from 0 out of 10 sexual comfort to 1 out of 10, maybe 2 out of 10 sexual comfort, where she's getting more comfortable gradually because she sees you don't judge her, that you just reward her for her sexuality and for opening up to you. And this next part, guys, this is critical, so listen up. If she tells you her guilty pleasure is reading dirty romance novels and you make like a disgusted face or you get embarrassed, you just destroyed everything. Her comfort doesn't just drop to 0. it goes negative on you and she will never open up to you ever again. Even if she drops something extreme on you, you gotta hold steady. Even if she tells you she gives hand jobs in the men's bathroom for fun, you gotta hold steady, because the second she feels judged at all, it is game over. So now, to get her to actually open up to you about her fantasies, about her favorite positions, what she likes in bed, you got to use what I call the question ramp. And you want to think of it as like you are driving up a ramp. You don't floor it from 0 to 100 in a second. No, you got to ease into it. Baby steps, one level at a time. So it's not about being graphic. It's more about stacking safe, progressively spicier questions until she is the one leading the conversation into sexual talk. So here's how it starts. You begin with lighter topics like temptations, cravings, dreams. For example, you ask her, so Sarah, what's your guilty pleasure? Or you might ask her, I'm curious, Sarah, what's something that is bad for you, but you crave it anyway? Or you might ask her, hey, Sarah, have you ever had a recurring dream before? Or you could go into tattoos, piercings, even her first kiss. And once she's comfortable there at that level, now you can ramp it up even higher, right? Ask her questions about skin or touch or massage or even what she wears to bed. And this works like a psychological drug, melting her resistance, making her confess her desires, and she's gonna feel safe while you're doing it because you are gradually ramping it up. I mean, I've had clients who could barely even flirt with a girl start using this ramp method, and the girl was telling him her favorite sexual position almost right away. That's the power of turning the dial correctly and gradually. So once that sexual comfort dial is turned up to a 3 out of 10 or a 4 out of 10, now you can start asking her higher level questions that are slightly more sexual, like, so Sarah, if you could just get one body part massaged every single day, what would it be? Or you might ask her, so Sarah, when you go to sleep, are you one of those people who sleeps completely naked? And whatever she answers, you guys, you've got to reward her. This is so critical. You might tell her, so Sarah, I love how free and open you are. You know, most women, they hold back, but you don't. And I admire that. You win a point in my book. And it's that constant positive feedback that makes her open up to you even more. So step by step, you're leading her exactly where you want her to go. And this is where things get wild, okay? This is the payoff. This is where it gets fun. Because once you've built enough sexual comfort with that girl, you can ask her things that would shock most guys, and she's gonna love answering it. Because at this stage, she knows you're never gonna judge her. She knows you're not gonna shame her. And that opens the door wide to these deeper topics of self-pleasure, orgasms, and fantasies. You can start to ask her questions like, hey, Sarah, so has anyone ever walked in on you while you were like, you know, having some solo fun down there? Or you might ask her, so Sarah, what's your favorite sex toy? And yes, gentlemen, you can go there if you built the ramp properly, because each step turns that dial knob higher and hotter. And suddenly at a certain point, you can get away with almost asking anything. And here's the beauty of it. The more comfortable she gets opening up to you about her sex life, the more turned on she becomes, and the more she feels like you understand her in a way that no one else does. While every other guy just sees her as the nice girl, you see the real woman underneath the surface, and that makes you stand out to her instantly. And from there, you can move into even spicier questions than before, like ask her, hey Sarah, what's the craziest place you've ever had sex? Or you could ask her, so Sarah, what's the type of touch that absolutely makes you melt? And that ramp right there, that sexual comfort ramp, if you do it right, even the sweetest, the most innocent looking girl will be talking dirty to you by the end of that first date or even in the bar. And listen, what I just showed you here is just one way to build sexual comfort with a woman. There are plenty more. And inside my community, I teach you all of them. And you can hop on live calls with me every single day, and I'll walk you through exactly what to do for your unique situation, because every guy is different. Every guy is coming from a different place. And learning how to build sexual comfort, that's not enough either. That's just the start. You also need sexual tension, sexual value, and sexual framing, what I call the 4 S's of obsession and the obsession operating system. And when you stack all of those together, that's when everything changes for you. So go right here to attractionzilla.com. I'll put a link in the description below as well. Guys, I know you're gonna love the community, so go check it out. Now, since you like this video so much, you gotta watch this one next. This is the simple hand touch that gets good girls horny in 3 seconds flat. Maybe there's a girl you like, a female friend you're crushing on, a colleague at work. Maybe you want to use these in a bar or even at the grocery store. It's a simple hand touch you can use anywhere that's going to immediately set you apart, get her turned on, get her interested in you so you can get her number and take her on a fun date. So go watch that video right now.